What up, what up, what up? Once again, just want to say this shit before I forget this shit for real. Shout out to my mama Phyllis Ann Jones and my great aunt Mary Ellen Baker, you know what I'm saying? Um, growing up, you know what I'm saying? The average kid, especially from the time period of era I grew up in, like it was common for your peers or elders, you know what I'm saying, to try to scare you, you know what I'm saying? You was scared tactics, big brother, you know what I'm saying? Get you with the scared of the dog gen or the monster gen, or say the boogeyman gonna come get you, or cut the most scariest shit on and see if you can handle this type of unseen fear before, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Um, so I was saying that to say though, a lot of motherfuckers over time get coerced into being afraid of the dark. And just like everybody else, at one time I used to be afraid of the dark. And I learned very early as a child from Mary Ellen Baker, Phyllis Ann Jones, and even God rest her soul, Myra Benita Baker, you know what I'm saying? I learned from these wonderful women, you know what I'm saying, that if you ain't doing nothing wrong, you don't even got nothing to be scared of for real. I'm gonna say that again, like, cause that might go over your head. Like, if you not doing nothing wrong, you don't got nothing to be afraid of. You know what I'm saying? And they was speaking from the perspective of me being afraid of the dark, or being afraid of Chucky or whoever a motherfucker happen to be looking at and be scared of, knowing that it ain't real after they done told you it ain't real, but you like 9 or 10 or 8 or however old, so your mind and imagination still running wild. So somebody telling you the boogeyman ain't real, then cutting the lights off and being like raw a couple times, knowing this scared the shit out you, and how you feeling like, I don't know if the boogeyman is not real. You know what I'm saying? And over time, you know what I'm saying, I just learned that if you not doing nothing wrong, you don't got nothing to be afraid of. Like, and I really carried that with me throughout life, through uh multiple principles and multiple phases, you know what I'm saying? Multiple things and facets, you know what I'm saying? I use that same principle, same ideology. Like, if you ain't doing nothing wrong, you don't got nothing to be afraid of. So I kind of stopped being scared of the dark a long time ago. And I realized that as long as you not doing nothing wrong, you don't have no reason to be afraid of the dark. And that helped me refine my principles as a young boy, as a man, or as a balanced and a fair individual. It helped me kind of mold my principles in the daylight, to keep it a stack with you. Because it was like to the point where I know, like, if I'm not trying to wrong nobody, or if I'm not trying to scare nobody, or if I'm not stealing or sneaking and hurt nobody, or none of that type of shit like that for real, like, I really don't have nothing to be afraid of. You know what I'm saying? So I tried to play the more fair, balanced, noble, honorable game play with my principles. Granted, I was not a saint. I repeat, I was not a saint. I was never a saint. But my principles align with me not doing nothing that, you know what I'm saying, have me afraid of the dark. I won't do nothing in the name of wrong or the name of evil. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, Even when I may have not been a saint, I still won't doing nothing with the intentions to do wrong or no type shit like that. So it's just that matters. Know what I'm saying? But like for the most part, I always try to stay balanced and fair. But like usually when you operate off those principles, when you get into the metaphorical darkness or the actual darkness or in scary situations, you are not as afraid as the average person because you not dealing with the justified evils of the average man in the world. So you not really doing a whole lot of wrong. So you're not viewing the darkness the same as the average person. You may very well be thinking of good things in the dark. You may very well be trying to see in the dark. You may very well think positive thoughts while you're in the dark or move in the right direction in the darkness, etc., etc. Because you're not doing nothing wrong. So I always kept that principle with me, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it kind of enabled me and helped me to become fearless for real because it's like, I know if I'm not running around doing a whole bunch of evil and wicked shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, unrighteous shit, you know what I'm saying? As long as I'm not running around doing that, like, I don't have nothing to be afraid of, you know what I'm saying? So, that kind of was a tool that I used and I carried with me, you know what I'm saying? Along the way, you know what I'm saying? And my mama and my aunt both, and my big cousin, all three of them was like God-fearing women, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted to say that to conclude the part of the lesson that they taught me, you know what I'm saying? So much respect and much love to my mama, my sister, and my big cousin who took care of me, you know what I'm saying? When my mama was locked up, you know what I'm saying? But the other half of the principles I learned and conjoined or combined with that is, if you not doing, if you not doing no fucked up shit, you don't got nothing to be afraid of, or you shouldn't, you know what I'm saying, you shouldn't be afraid of. I also learned that translated and also became a power at that moment when I understood and submitted to the positive energy and the positive principles of not trying to do nothing wrong intentionally. It gave me like a power that you wouldn't even know exists unless you try to operate off those principles. And the power was, not only was I not afraid of the dark, I became very brave in the dark. And I also learned that I can use power from the darkness and people can be afraid of me in the dark instead of me being afraid of people in the dark because I didn't do nothing wrong. So it's like I don't even have no reason to be afraid of the dark or afraid of the negative energy or afraid of anything bad happening to me because I'm not doing it in the name of. Matter of fact, y'all need to be afraid because y'all the ones doing wrong or y'all the ones running around wicked and evil. So y'all need to be afraid. So now in the darkness, I can be aggressive. I can defend myself with malicious intent if necessary. I can not be afraid of somebody wicked trying to take advantage or use the cover of darkness to do harm or do wrong to me, thinking that since it's dark, I'm afraid because the average person is afraid of the darkness. But since I'm not running around doing evil, I'm not afraid of the darkness. So I learned it. I can actually use the power of the darkness at that moment and in turn, people will have to be afraid of me in the dark. So I use that power humbly and respectfully, you know what I'm saying? But that is a power that I learned that I gained just from trying to do right, you know what I'm saying? And not trying to do evil shit all the time. And it led me to understand that I didn't need to be afraid of the dark. And then I learned the power of darkness, you know what I'm saying? So now it's like I can use the darkness to ward off people who would try to even make me afraid in the night or in the darkness or in situations where they're trying to use negativity or malevolence against me. Like I can flip it back on them and actually have them terrified now. Like, but I wouldn't have learned that if I wouldn't have been studious enough and wise enough and humble enough to learn a lesson that if you're not doing nothing wrong, you don't have nothing to be scared of. Which gave me the braveness that I needed to become fearless and ultimately gave me the power to be ferocious if necessary. So if you translate that information in many ways, but do with that information what you must. But I thank those women for giving me the half of that information. And I'm thankful for myself for learning the rest. Y'all might not understand that, but that's information, that's news you can use, you know what I'm saying? It might go over your head, but that's news you can use for real, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't doing nothing wrong, you don't got nothing to be afraid of. Matter of fact, you can be ferocious.